Welcome back to Frank. I'm Kat Davidson and my guests tonight are Scott Black. As the General Manager of 31 Digital, he's been referred to as both the stick and the carrot by those who work under him. And Cameron Duggan, he's a butcher who does his best work carving up audiences at comedy clubs. Not in a Dexter kind of way, he's just really funny. Scott and Cameron, welcome back.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Now we're going to start with you, Mr. Cameron Duggan.
Rightio.
People all over this great country have paid to see you tell tales of high mirth.
Not on purpose. It wasn't me they were paying to see.
Did you just...
They had to, though. They had to.
Were you a one-man comedy flash mob?
Kind of. Only for about 6 or 7 minutes, usually. They love it, though. Can't get enough of it. Come out and do another minute. I can't. Puffed out.
You're backstage having a little bit of a lie down.
Yeah, passed out, they call it. But to rest, I think.
You are a butcher by trade.
Yes.
Are you usually just back chopping stuff up, or are you dealing with the public directly?
Oh, both of them.
At the same time?
Yeah, sometimes. I'll do what I want. You can't pigeonhole me at all. Retail butcher? No. I wander around. I'm like a waiter as well. Just take stuff out. I don't do that at all. Don't be afraid of that. I should. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Would you like that if you're in the shops?
Yeah, just wandering around with
Dude,
it.
just bringing out a
not
tray
even a
of
meat
stuff.
tray, just like a board with just some
Bread.
blood sticking off it. Just like, you want this?
I'd want a whole piece, clearly a piece of an animal, like the hindquarters or something,
Yeah.
and for Cameron to just kind of cut and go, oh, there you go.
You know, weighs about 80 kilos.
The hindquarters of it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hardcore.
You
Yeah.
get buff doing that.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. All right. We're coming up with a plan.
Yeah.
All right, we
Yeah,
go.
there, just a feather boa of Frankfurt's. Just, hello, boys. Let's do this.
Stop
Oh
it.
wow.
You're making all the vegetarians get excited. Now, Cameron, you do meet some very interesting people in
I
your
do, yeah.
line of work, and
Yeah.
the show today is entitled Zoo Tales, Tales of Animals. So, one gentleman, I nearly made up a word there, gentleman,
Oh, he's just a bloke, just an average dude.
what happened?
Oh, this guy. I worked with him, like just for one day. I worked with him and it was about 8 hours, right? So you get to talk, and you guys know, you know what I'm like.
Yeah.
Annoying. So we were talking, and this bloke got to talking about how he breeds dogs, German shepherds. Breeds German shepherds, had to go home and clean out the dog cages after work. Yeah, he had heaps of them apparently. Just heaps of dogs.
Was he, a lot of people who have, now I'm going to have to be careful of the dog lovers here, but a lot of people who love one breed, really love one breed in particular, tend to have the characteristics of that breed. Was he a man who knew what he was hunting?
He was a very small man. He had a mullet, like a grey, I can't remember his name. It's probably like Keith, I think,
With
with
an
an F. Keith, like that. I think that's, from memory, that's what he called himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? You met that bloke before.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
that dude. He had one tattoo on each forearm. Like, he was basically like if you put a rooster in a tiny man's clothing. That's what he looked like. And he bred dogs, German shepherds. Like a lot of these dogs, like the strong ones, would have been bigger than him, I reckon.
Taking him for walks around the place?
Yeah. Yeah, so he was telling me he had to go home and clean out the dog cages, right? Natural question, how long does that take? How often do you have to do it? How often do you have to clean out the dog cages? He said, mate, it's like cleaning your house. It's like cleaning your house. You've got to do it every day.
Who
Well,
cleans their house every day?
Yeah, it's not.
Do people do that?
You know what else I don't do? Shit in the living room and then clean it out with a hose. Like
On
often.
purpose.
Yeah, it wrecks the carpet.
You've done it?
Yeah, once. Right, I might be silly, but only once. Only once will I make that mistake.
That's all right.
Yeah, got wet shit-stained carpet. And that takes
And you
days to dry.
And you don't get your bond back?
No.
Yeah.
Anyways, he didn't agree with that, with that analogy.
Right.
So he just said he's going home to clean the dog cages. Just hose out the living rooms of these dogs. Was talking about a show that he was taking his dogs to, right? All these dogs. He said 12 dogs. No, 10 dogs he was taking to this show. 10, yeah. Yeah, you know what
So this is not a guy who's breeding them just to sell to other people. This is a best in show type
show
guy.
dogs. These are top shelf dogs.
See, that's not the image I have of a show.
A rooster in a tiny man's clothing. No,
Yeah,
it was a very unique sort of a character.
Yes,
Keefe!
This is a top dog, mate.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Is there a Mrs. Keefe, do you think?
Stace.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Stace. Just drop that into conversation like I had any idea who Stace was. I worked it out though, you know what I Steel trap. Steel trap. You don't get this far.
Stace and
You don't
Keith.
get this far in life without having a mind like mine, you know? You know what I mean? Old couch shit.
Stace and Keith. Like, you kind of want to have Stace and Keith
They
over
are
for beers.
the exact kind of people that I want around my house drinking. Honestly, the exact kind of people.
With their collection of German Shepherds.
No, don't bring the dogs. Don't bring the dogs. They shit in the living room. You're not. No, don't bring that around my
Bring
house.
the wild turkey. And then, not the animal, the drink.
They'd be.
Because my head just went
a
to an image
cougar
of wild
couple.
turkey being chased around by 10 German Shepherds while they both
He's
dance.
just going, yeah, nah, that's kind of like our kid. We call him Muzz. Muzz the turkey.
Muzz the turkey.
Why not?
So were these winning dogs, do you think?
I don't know. He was talking about a show actually that he had to take all his dogs to. 10 of them. 10 dogs to this show. Right? Natural question was, how do you get this many dogs to a show? And he said, all proud of himself, he went, my 6 berth dog trailer, Stace's 4. Like, I should have been impressed by that. A 6 berth dog trailer. Like, haven't heard of one of them in a while, have you, champ? Got one. Stace has got a 4 berth. Like, I want to meet the dude that makes those trailers and just hope he's as proud of it as Keith is.
I
Like,
hope
what are you
that's
gonna-
how they met.
I hope so. I reckon Keith might have made it. Like, what's that for, mate? What can you put in that? And he'd be like, up to 6 dogs. If you wanted to. Maybe 8 if they're friends.
I just hope he pulled up in a car park one day, all alone, and then Stace pulled up in her 4 berth. They just looked at each other over a crowded car park and went, one day we will hose the shit of dogs out of our living room.
I reckon Stace would have been... She's probably allergic to dogs, I reckon. And Keith just got her into it. Like, he was that special kind of rooster, man.
Yeah. Come on, Stace. Oh, nah, come on, love. I don't want... Oh,
allergic.
come on.
Yeah, I reckon. I reckon that's what...
Yeah, that. I kind of like your scenario. It's like they pull up and it's like, I had 10 dogs. I only had a 6-dog trailer. Then I met Stace. She pulled up at a red light. She had 4. It was love at birth.
Maybe Keith was just driving around with an empty trailer and Stace just had heaps of dogs. They were all fighting. I wish I had a way to separate and transport these dogs at the same time.
Now you have to go and find him again and ask these questions.
No, I'll
and
never
come back
see him
on.
again. He just borrowed $50 and never came back. Borrowed $50 off The Apprentice. Where's he getting $50 from? He's got like 10 dogs to feed.
That doesn't buy a lot of dog food.
Yeah, I know.
He was taking
He-
scraps home from work. He
Yeah.
was embezzling meat.
Show dogs. They're not eating typical dog food.
And these are dogs that have obviously been treated well by someone who loves them. Scott, your tale, which will come to us after the break, which we're taking momentarily, does it involve animals that are loved and cared for and respected?
Respected, no. Loved, maybe. Cared for, absolutely not.
My name's Kat Davidson. Scott Black and Cameron Duggan are our guests this evening. The show is called Frank, and we'll be back very soon.